Good evening, Constitutional Patriots. We are going to have a 30-minute show with, this is the United States Constitutional Patriots Radio. We're going to have a special guest talk for a half an hour, and then we'll let you listen, and then we'll see you on Monday, too, as well. So hold on, and I will turn it over to Little Rebel.
Like I said, there's someone on the stairs, so
Go
careful.
ahead, Little Rebel.
All right, this is something new and pretty cool. So maybe we can do this, what we say, a couple nights a week on a little ramp on what some things that I like to say, and just when I go live, to say whatever I want because it's my right to do that. And I was talking to Black, and I had an idea about how we can kind of do some things, and which that was I want a memorial wall up for all the people that lost their children or their wives or husbands, whatever, and all on the wall for people, a reminder what can happen when you let undocumented illegals here, and when that got over, and now
you guys in the background,
these people lost their loved ones because of it, and some things could have been prevented if they would have just came the right way, and also not only with the wall, but we need to make towers, like fire towers, very high, and you put bulletproof glass around those, and that way everybody could take shifts. Even if we had to get volunteers, I'm sure people would do it. And that way you can see for miles over that wall. You're protected and help prevent any traffickers, drug dealers, whatever you may have you, to get over that wall. And I think that would save a lot of money, because if you put them like you would the beach, you have like every so many hundreds of feet or whatever. I think we could actually accomplish something and cut a budget with that, and I think it'd be a good idea. And some people might not like it, but we got to do something. But we got to start with our children. We got almost 3 generations lost children.
No.
They don't even know what they are anymore. Or I can tell you from a little town in Pennsylvania, my great nephews coming home crying because of our president. Because we have teachers that shouldn't even be discussing this and keeping their views to themselves, but they're spreading it onto our youth and giving their opinions, which left, and our children are coming home or coming out of school, liberals, very left, very confused, and I just think that and the parents better need to stand up and do something, because if we continue to let this happen, and they don't have much of a future, because if we don't stand for our country, who's going to stand up once we're gone? Because they're learning socialism, they're communism. So it also starts at home with the parents, and you got to do something. You have to. I mean, at this point in the game, I mean, we need the parents of the kids. So I mean, this is going down like dominoes here, and so it's up to our generation, which is one of them, to save this country. Because if we don't, that's what the left was hoping to get rid of. People like us, Vietnam vets. There's a certain age group that, because we know better, and we need to start over again.
Okay, so
as far as the school system, get rid of that damn Common Core. because it's just brainwashing our children and putting everybody on a even keen level. And I mean, did you ever see the Mammon Corps? It's ridiculous. They did it on spite. And these kids don't have nothing to. Why should everybody get a trophy? If you worked hard on something, a job, so everybody got
that poor Ash.
A pat on the back, but you're the one who did it, how would you feel? You would be pretty upset, wouldn't you? So if you worked hard for something, why should everybody get a trophy? If you didn't get one, that means you got to strive a little harder for the next time. But they don't even have that anymore, because little Johnny comes home crying to mom because he didn't get a trophy. So she calls and complains, well, my little Johnny didn't get a trophy and he should have got one. And then, so now everybody gets one and you don't all deserve it. Sorry. You just got to work a little harder. So they don't have nothing to strive for. You have nothing to strive for, nothing to work hard for, because everybody gets the same. Everything away from even sports. I can't believe, I am surprised if these at our football or professional, that not everybody gets a Super Bowl ring. I'm surprised nobody has a fit about that. Hard for something. And but we got to fight and that's also putting God back into everything, because our children don't even know who the Lord is, and that's a big problem. And so I think we have a lot of work to do, but it's going to take we the people. It's going to take an effort of everybody to help clean this country up, and Trump can't do it. So, we can't just sit back and hope somebody else does it for us. It's up to us. Unfortunately, I looked at my mom and said, you should have did something about this. And her mom should have did something about it. So now it got to us. If we don't, we're going to lose this country. And so that's my concern for all levels. The border, we got schools, we got Common Core, we got Agenda 21, we have Muslim situation that that's in this country that's they want Sharia. There's so many things. We need the churches you need to find out, folks, if your church is a 501c3, because they're not even under God. That's not the God that they're serving, that you think you're serving. They're not even under God. They sold themselves out. And so there's a lot to fix in this country. But
this guy can't shoot.
Like it or not, United States was...
It's not Russian gamers.
Was formed around Christian values. And when that's taken away, which it has been, when you want to take away the 10 Commandments and everything else, I shall not. So what's wrong with it? So you take it down, so then you think it's okay to steal, and just like wanting to be like the devil, steal, kill, and destroy. And that's exactly what has been happening to our youth. And if people don't start waking up, I don't even know if some of them will ever wake up. And so it's all about education, and this is what I am going to and been trying to do. And I will still, and I won't stop trying to at least educate and wake people up. And I do have PDF files. I have, and I'm going to be updating them because things have not changed.
What?
For the last, I think I made these like 7, 8, and it's like it was yesterday. So if you would like any of those, you can contact me or contact the United Constitutional Patriot and contact Little Rebel on here, and I will be happy to share them, and you can print them out. I can send them through the mail, however you would like, as long as you're sharing them and getting the word out. I will be happy to do that. And I'm also in the room with all my friends from the United Constitutional Patriots. So maybe one of them would like to say something. Chuck?
No, not right off the top of my head.
I'm fresh out of words. You said it all there, Little Rebel.
I'll say something.
Pete?
Sure. This is very serious, American people, the American people, because, like Little Rebel said, that Common Core is really brainwashing our kids to not like America. And the video games that they play are also brainwashing them. You got to be careful. Don't let them play too long, maybe a couple hours a day, if that. If they're ever on the computer, make sure you time them on that and monitor them to see what they're doing. With that said, I will turn it back to Little Rebel.
Pete, that is a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. I really am, because I remember years ago, I mean, what is it? I forget the name. Oh, God, I don't even know all these games that they play, but the one, Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I knew a girl that was letting her little kid play it. They think it's big brainwashing. Pete made a very good point. They're there for hours, and it's a parent's babysitter, and they're not even paying attention of what these games are all about. And it's about shooting and killing. I mean, if you don't get in a way where they're all mixed up now, they think people they're gonna shoot them, kill them, and they're gonna get back up and be okay again. And they're showing how to rob and steal. I mean, that's evil, folks. I mean, if you don't let your child watch these games, and I mean, even down to the movies, you better sit back and start. Then you're just as guilty, because you got to start. Parents got to start taking responsibility of also, because everybody's all doped up, and that's what that's another problem that's going on, because now Pennsylvania is one of them under a state of emergency for the opiates.
Well, Frank, you're on the virtual camera, right?
Well, it was the pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
And it's the government. That's a multi-billion, trillion-dollar business, and that's keep everybody under some kind of drug and addiction. Well, I'm told also these games have bad words. I mean, what is going on? I mean, I knew that was bad when my kid. I would not let him play that. But parents got to take responsibility. I think, actually,
search online.
You see these young kids out there. I mean, the best one I saw, I think, was Baltimore, when a mother went and she started chasing her kid on TV, and she was letting him have it, and that was the best thing. That's what parents need to do.
They're in the basement.
What the hell? I mean, they're just sitting back there. They're not even paying attention, or they give them everything they want, so they don't even know what it's like not to have. They're spoiled. They're spoiled as well. So, every child, because there's a lot out there suffering. But however, we got a big problem. And another thing. They're confused, and we got doctors out, the pediatricians that are trying to make their own children that they had born a boy, and they're trying to make them into little girls. And this is who you want to take your kids to? These kind of little doctors? I mean, problem with mental illness or something. I mean, but look what they're spraying our foods with, and the chemicals, fluoride, just that's what Hitler used. We just been brainwashed. History is all wrong. They're not teaching them in school their Constitution, and that way they don't even know what they're fighting against. But how can they fight you when they don't even? So they won't fight the government, right? Because they don't even know better.
Investigate this.
Because as far as I'm concerned, the meetings I've been to, our own judges, the good ones, said that they got lawyers going on there. They're actually trying to teach them the Constitution because they don't even know it. Now, how can we have lawyers that don't know how to fight for you that don't even know the Constitution? I don't get it. I went against an FBI agent. Well, he was a former, and for terrorist. Matter of fact, everybody was showing up, and I talked him into staying because some people didn't get the right equipment for him to do his
Ow, I shot you in the... Okay, they're both down here. They're both down here. There's a cat.
That people were interested in hearing about terrorists.
I know
him to stay in, and he started talking, and then all of a sudden, he started talking about patriots, like me and all a bunch of us that believe in the Constitution, and put us. We were on the terrorist watch list, and I thought, what the hell? And he was a teacher for the Reading Area Community College. I just couldn't believe it, and I'm scared to leave actually by the end, because I jumped his ass. And I couldn't believe it. So, I mean, this goes all the way up, and he's older than me. So I don't even know what to say. I mean, this is just, but we need a complete start over. And Trump's trying. Watch that door. And it's going to take a while, but I want it like yesterday. But I think we all need to start stepping in. Because if we don't, look at that Alexandra Cortez. I mean, she's about dumb as a box of rocks. This is what you're coming in. It's getting defeated, or it's getting into our government.
She got mad.
Oh my gosh, we can't have this. So we got a lot of work to do, and I just hope that we could all start trying to educate and that's why I'm doing this, because, I got a son and I'm hoping to have grandkids, but if we don't start straightening this up, I mean, we're just there's just more generations of dumbasses. I hate to say it, but it's true.
I just wanted to add on to some more stuff about school and other things.
Go ahead.
I'm really pissed off because they had these men that dress like women, reading books to kids in elementary school. Can you believe that? And, there's a bunch of other things going on. I was watching TV the other day for a while, and I never watched TV hardly. And the commercial was on, and I was like, this guy was cooking eggs and stuff and, breakfast. And then he goes into the room. There's another guy in there, and he gives him his plate, and they kiss. And he says, thanks for making me breakfast. I'm like, what the hell are they showing this on TV on a Saturday? On a Saturday.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
I don't know who did that.
No, it's okay. It's just, why are we seeing this? Why are they showing this to our kids? And they're also telling them if they're a boy, they don't know if they're a boy or a girl in kindergarten.
No, go to bed.
They're confused. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I wanted everybody. I was willing to do a background check for everybody. If they got their kids' yearbooks and gave me every freaking name.
No!
So we can look them up and see what kind of person are children. Who are they? Where are they from? Because I do know the one up in the Poconos there, that Muslim that tried to do a coup in Turkey, did bark orders from here for Turkey. Was it last year or whatever? I can't pronounce his name, but he has like 150 schools, I believe now, and for 20 years, one of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton's buddies. And they had the children brainwashed, and that came from his first commander that actually gave him up. And I don't know why he did that, but it's on YouTube. I'm going to see if I can find it. And he said that they'll have parent-teacher conference day, and the parents come and everything's like normal. But as soon as they leave, those kids are worshiping him. And he told physicians, in the government and teachers, so they can continue this and to brainwash. And so they all worship this guy. And what they're also teaching, Pete, you're saying it comes in, it all actually kind of rounds up to Sharia law, Sharia, and what they're doing over there. And the Muslims, they dress their boys up like little girls. I've seen that. And so they're trying to do it here. What they were trying to bring in is pedophilia, to make it okay, so for them, and then to brainwash all these kids. So it's running really bad, and they are taking down these. It runs really, really deep, and we're not going to get them all. But parents can start helping getting these sickos by stepping up to the plate.
What? I don't know.
Hey, little
stepping
rebel.
in, finding out what our children are. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry about that. You want to finish before that?
That's fine.
Okay. When Obama was president and the soldiers were in Afghanistan, these people, I guess, the army that was working with them in Afghanistan were raping little boys, and the soldiers went over there to stop them and beat them up, but they got in trouble and they got demoted and I guess sent home.
You know, you're absolutely right. I do remember that. That's when they started filming. Yes, I do remember that. And they were being, they were getting court-martialed, weren't they? They were getting like in big trouble for being whistleblowers, and they were to be shut up and hushed. And you're absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me about that. So
look in the loops chat.
Yeah. So we knew we should have seen this coming, and of course, Obama actually, and the two all of them are involved.
So
I mean, during Clinton's, I mean, these people need. This is what. That's why I've been kind of open about this and like going on Twitter. I don't give a shit. They know who I am. I'm putting all that stuff out there that the Q drops, because and they want you, if you can come up with your own memes, drop them, because people need to start seeing it. And remember when we shared and when Trump got in, because we were sharing all kind of stuff about when WikiLeaks Pizzagate, everybody needs to just keep it going, because people were waking up. People were actually going, something has to be true on this, and they were actually waking up. So I'm glad you reminded me about that, Pete.
You're so welcome, little rebel, and I love what you're bringing to the public right now.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what, these are the things that, I like to have little town hall. We have something called Berks County Patriots, and they have it once the third week of the month, once a month. And they have our senators and congressmen or judges, things like this, all kind of stuff, and try to get people in the community involved, and to wake them up. And it's getting harder and harder for them to get people to actually show up.
Take a photo.
And it was only the older crowd, and but it's a good idea for a lot of people to have, to get everybody involved, and to wake people up. And I think, I don't know how many towns have this or how many states, but I think everybody should start doing it.
You're right, little rebel. And I want to say one more thing too. I don't see how a father and the parent can dress their boy up as a girl and confuse him when he can be an all-star baseball player or a football player or something like that when he grows up.
Absolutely. I worked with this girl. Now this is what, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and she thought it was hilarious that her nephew was putting high heel shoes on and walking around, and he's so cute and this and that. I said, why are you letting him do that? Are you kidding me? I was like, no. Like my kid, he's all boy. If he decides that's what he's going to be, if he would have been the other way, he's going to do that on his own and not by my help. And you just pray for them, because sometimes I don't know even what happens and why they're like that. I don't know, but I'm not going to help. So thinking it's all cute. I mean, I know I said that I did a live, and some people got maybe a little upset, and they said, well, my son plays with dolls, but he's little. And I'm like, well, let me tell you something. You can do what you want. And my son did not play with dolls. I mean, they have G.I. Joes, but I'm talking about little rag dolls, look like little girls, the little girl dolls. I don't think so. They're all boys. That's just how I feel. And like I said, if he wants to be a little, if he can do it on his own, but it ain't gonna be my help. And if you want to be that way, I think it was better when they were in a closet and you could do what you want, but just don't push it on me. But this is what they're doing. And once again, they're pushing it. And they're telling, I don't know if you heard this one, but they have classes now that they're telling boys have their period. Are you kidding me? But I heard they were making it mandatory. I thought Trump got some board that's, or, you know, for the school that's,
watch out.
that was going to Common Core. What is going on?
Frank's unrelenting. Yeah, yes.
Well, for one thing, Little Rebel, I have a video from England where this kid was telling, I guess, the British police everything. I can't say everything on here because it's very, very, very graphic what he says to make him bleed, you know, rectically from a kid. He was explaining that he was bleeding. Yeah, they do something to him.
To our children in school, but they're making it. They were having a meeting on it to make it. And you want to know where CPS is? We got to be careful because a lot of CPSs, they're in trouble for their part of the child trafficking. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of them. I'm finding out, shitload of them. This is how bad and how deep the tentacles go, and we need to start. And this is why. Chuck would like to say something.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to say that CPS, or Child Protective Services, is the biggest procurer of children for pedophiles in the country. So, you know, who cares where CPS is? We don't want to mess with the children. But what I wanted to point out, very simply, first of all, folks, I'm chaplain here at United Constitutional Patriots. I'm a minister. And probably the two main points or main aspects of my ministry happen to be Bible prophecy and spiritual warfare. And, you know, Pete was asking a while ago, well, you know, about, you know, why are parents letting their boys dress up like girls? Why, you know, why do we have all this nonsense, you know, going on with the pink, you know what hats in the streets, and the, you know, the liberals out, you know, doing all this? Well, to answer that question, why all this stuff's going on, answer that question, you simply, all you simply need to do is turn to the scriptures. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? Basically, what you're seeing with all of this is you're seeing the demonic manifest in all these many various ways, as the scriptures indicate that will happen in the end time. We were talking a while ago about
your chicken nuggets are here.
About, you know, what children are being taught in schools. Well, you know, just a few years ago, one of the hugest things being taught in school, in fact, in some schools, it was on the mandatory reading list. And it was a little thing called Harry Potter. Now, most people probably are familiar with Harry Potter, probably remember the Harry Potter books. Many people have read the Harry Potter books. Even adults have read the Harry Potter books that their kids were reading. Well, let me just tell you something. Harry Potter is not a game. The Harry Potter books may be fiction, but I want you to know that the witchcraft in those books is real. If your children are reading Harry Potter books and pretending to cast spells, I have seen in bookstores like Barnes and Noble where when the new Harry Potter book comes out, they'd have these Harry Potter parties for the kids at Barnes and Noble. And you've got kids running around casting spells. Folks, the spells in those books are real. It's real witchcraft. So if your children are reading Harry Potter books, they know how to cast spells. They're actually practicing witchcraft. It's the real deal under the disguise of children's fiction. This is how they get to your children, folks. All right, Pete was talking about the video games a while ago. Okay? Pete was talking about the video games a while ago. Let me throw a few more things in on those video games. Okay? Saturday morning cartoons, video games, for that matter, heavy metal, rock music, so on. All of it heavily steeped in the occult. Everything that Deuteronomy chapter 18, everything that God said to his people Israel, you will not do these things. When I take you into the land I'm taking you into, you don't have anything to do with the people there. You get them out of there because they're doing all these things. You don't do it. All these various occult activities, God said, were forbidden. But they're all in your Saturday morning cartoons. They're all in your in these video games. Shoot, you can walk down a toy store aisle and buy a Ouija board. You know what a Ouija board is? A Ouija board is nothing more than a doorway, a portal. Okay? You're a portal where you're talking to demonic entities. Okay? It's a portal for demons, fallen angels. Okay? The video games. Okay. Not only are those video games steeped in violence and the occult, and the ones rated M also have nudity, sexual violence, what have you, all of that in them. And I'm telling you, folks, a lot of places, maybe not every place, but a lot of places, a kid 10, 12, 13, 14 years old can walk into one of those video stores, pick an M-rated game off the shelf, and if he's got the money, they'll take it. Okay? They don't care in many cases. But there's one other aspect of these video games that you need to know about. If you'll turn the game over and read on the back of the game, it'll tell you back on most of these games, especially a lot of the newer ones, they will tell you that there is a flicker rate. Okay? There is a flicker rate in these videos. It flickers on the screen while you're playing the game. You have that same flicker rate in TV. It causes a low-level hypnosis. Okay? So here you've got your child playing these occult games, or they're playing these violent shoot-'em-up games, and at the same time you got this flicker rate. They say this flicker rate in these video games have been known to cause seizures, even in children that are not prone to seizures. It's happened. It's been proven. It's documented. But it's also a low-level form of hypnosis. This is how they get to your children. Now, I'm droning on and on and on here. We don't want to go too long, but I could go into a lot of this stuff. Maybe one of these days we will. But I'm going to go ahead and let Little Rebel have her program back right now. But this is just some of what they're coming at your children with these days.
Chuck, I would love for you. It's time to. You have so much knowledge of the Bible, and I would love for you to be on every time I go on, because people need to hear this. They need to hear scripture and what is going on. And I think you would be perfect. And I think, I believe that is definitely your calling. And you have taught me and all of us a lot. And so much. And I would love, I tell like my sister, I was like, you need to hear what what you said about, when our presidents, when they would swear on the Bible and that whole thing with down in Washington, I mean, you just got so much, and it's like I can't even explain it how you did. And I was like, I told my sister, I was like, you need to hear this because it would make so much more sense. Because oh my God, you filled me so much that I needed to know. I think you would be great to give a little knowledge, or a little, maybe a 10-minute, or I mean, whatever you would like. I would love to hear. I could listen to you all night. But I think I get this out there, and this is my first night doing this. But I would just love to have you. We get on these subjects because we, and we got to keep preaching because if we don't, then nobody's going to wake up. But I know I love to hear you. I mean, I would love for you to have your own radio show, or we could just like start it out like, and let you go and teach us all what we don't know. And as I just think they need to hear this, and I want to hear it. And everybody in here, we were all like, really tuned in, because a lot of these, another subject that I know you're good at, a lot of people think about aliens. And I got to tell you, today, I think I told you a little bit about, now this is twice in 1 week, there's been people who saw like fireballs or something come out of the sky. So, but we got to let people realize, what aliens really are. They're fallen angels. And we are at the end times. And I think that's another teaching I would love for you to, to get out there. And so what do you think? Would you mind doing that maybe once a week or something?
Well, I've always said I'll be glad to help where I can. I've been asked to do a show, so yeah, anytime we can, whatever subject you want to talk about, why we can discuss it. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Pete? Okay.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Same bat time, same bat station, only on Tuesday and Thursday instead of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay. Yeah. And Pete, you can also show me how to do some of this, or I'm not sure how to live stream, but with the Bible, everything today is always something that everything it all comes together, and because it's like everything, what's good is bad, bad is good. That's all there at the end times too. So I think, Chuck, it's your time to shine. We all work together. I mean, we have a really good team here. So I think with all these subjects and what we see, everybody can take something away from, I think, each and every night, or, Tuesdays and Thursdays with them to really think about. And at least we know we at least tried, when the Lord says, what did you do? And we could say, we really tried to get the knowledge out there to wake people up. I'm good. Would anybody else like to say anything? I'm gonna get off here. This is just our first thing. I'm not sure where you streamed this through. Was it YouTube? Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna share this, and I'm gonna start letting people know. And if I think it'd be great. And like I said, I want to learn too. So we'll just, we know it's either going to be, this is just something that's just not going away. So And you have a lot of knowledge. And I did want to say something about the Harry Potter. Not only your children, my daughter-in-law, who's 25 years old, she's in the Harry Potter. And when my kid told me what I can get her, I was just like, wow. But I didn't know about these spells are really real. Holy crap. There's a lot of, she's the second person I know at her age is into this Harry Potter stuff. And I don't think they know the consequences. I don't think they have no idea. So that was very interesting. It's something you brought that up. I was like, wow. So yeah, there's a lot I like to learn. I think we all could use, we can all use to hear this. And so I think we'll hand it over to Pete. We're going to start doing this, and the more knowledge you have, the better.